everyone, this is Karen. Thank you so much for joining today. We're going to move through a yoga practice and then come back and transition into our seated meditation. So have a cushion or a chair nearby. And the theme of our meditation today is going to be about really dropping below the activity of the mind into our bodies so that we can feel our way into our embodied presence. So we'll start by placing the hands on the thighs, palms down for grounding, and sit up nice and tall. Feel your sits bones really grounding and anchoring you down into the mat. And close your eyes for a moment. Let's take 3 centering deep breaths together. Breathing in through the nose, filling up with breath all the way to the top. And then exhaling all the air out, if you like, with a sigh, letting go, coming down, settling into the body. Taking a big breath in through the nose. If you'd like, out of the mouth. Feeling the shoulders drop, feeling the sits bones anchor. And last one, big inhale in through the nose. Anchoring down, exhale. And inviting movement into the body now. Dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder. Bringing your right arm up and overhead. Gently clasping alongside your left ear, creating nice stretch for the left side of your neck. Big breath in and out. Breathing in, breathing out, and release and soften the right hand down. And drop left ear to left shoulder. Bring your left arm up overhead. And use that gentle traction with your hand on your right ear to create a little bit extra stretch, as much as feels good through the right side of the neck. And take a deep breath here. And release, bring the head back to neutral, and just creating some half moon circles with the neck, bringing the right ear to the right shoulder, and then dropping the head down and over to the left. And just start to feel the neck loosening up here. And loosening up any tension you may be holding in those areas. And maybe feeling other parts of the body getting involved. And the shoulders and the torso. But keeping the sit bones nice and grounded. And continuing to breathe in and out through the nose. And then coming back to a neutral position. Inhaling, bringing the shoulders all the way up towards the ears. And then release them with a sigh. And 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. And 1 more. Inhale. Let it go with a sigh. And then draw the shoulders up, around and back into some big circles. Getting the torso involved here a bit. But again, keeping the sit bones, the hips grounded as we loosen up the shoulders. And then reversing directions, back and up and around. Continuing to breathe in and out through the nose, and then releasing, feeling the shoulders drop, maybe closing your eyes just to sense into the shoulders, noticing any release. Maybe the shoulders feeling a little bit more settled down away from the ears. And drawing the hands down to the mat beside you. Pull the lower belly in as you again root down through the sit bones, really feeling your grounded presence there. Let all the air out, and then inhale and stretch your arms up towards the sky. Continuing to draw the navel up and in, gently press your tailbone back and down. Pull the lower belly in, feel all that stabilization through the lower belly, lower back as you reach and expand your arms up towards the sky. Big inhale, get taller. And exhale, press down and away, nice and slow. Create resistance with your arms as you come down so you feel that they're active all the way through to the fingertips, really energizing, activating the arms. And then land the hands, land your right arm, right hand on your mat. And inhale, stretch and lift your left arm up. And if you'd like, you can come down onto your right elbow if that feels okay. Otherwise, continuing to use your hand, pressing down onto the mat to create this big side stretch. Inhaling to open and create space through the ribs. Exhale, soften into that space. Inhale. And exhale and release your left arm, left hand down. Inhale, stretch your right arm up towards the sky. And find the right position for you if you like, coming onto the elbow. If it's okay for the neck, gazing up. Otherwise, just continuing to gaze forward or even down if there's any pain or pinching in the neck. Breathing in, expand through your right side body. And exhale and release. Good, right hand down. And bring both hands to your knees. And starting to circle around the hips a few times, getting your shoulders and your elbows nice and loose and relaxed. And at the same time, continuing to feel your grounded presence through your hips, through your sits bones, and then reversing direction. And loosening up the hips. And coming back to a central, neutral position for a moment. Deep breath. And then navigating onto hands and knees. Fingers underneath your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Connect with your spine from your tailbone all the way through to the crown of the head. Feel as much length as you can. Breathe, pull the belly in. Exhale all the air out. And then inhale and lift and stretch your heart open. Exhale, pull the belly in. A few rounds of cat-cow here. Waking up, warming up the spine, and really integrating your movement with the breath. That's really what creates the practice of yoga, is integrating the movement with that long flow of your deep breaths, finding that easy and complete rhythm to the breath. Couple more, find your own pace. And come back to neutral. And come down onto the elbows and cross your hands in front of you, so crossing at your wrist. And then open up the knees a little bit wider, so you're really supporting the movement with your knees. And then creating some big hip circles here on your elbows. Just drawing the hips all the way around, back, and forward. And then switching directions. Moving as slow as you'd like here, and just really feeling into any tight spots in the hips. And then coming to neutral. And bring the hands into a prayer position here. Bring the knees more hip width distance apart again, or however feels comfortable. And then gazing over to the right, bring the hips to the right. And then over to the left, gazing to the left. And just swinging the hips right and left, feeling that gentle twist through the torso. And pressing down through the forearms as you breathe. And sending the hips right and left, couple more times. And coming back to neutral, bring the hips down towards your heels, child's pose. Maybe bringing index fingers to touch, bending at the elbows, and just allowing your head to settle, allowing your breath to just settle down into the ground. And breathing into the low back, filling up your whole back body with breath on your in-breath. And exhale, softening, releasing towards the floor. And bring the arms straight out in front of you. And then walk them over to the right. Do you feel that nice stretch through the left side of your body, aiming your left sits bones down towards your heel, and taking a couple of deep breaths into the left side of the body, feeling all that length through the sits bones, all the way through to your fingertips, and breathing in fully, and breathing out. And just settling into presence here of your breath. And then walking the hands back to center. And then all the way over to the left. And breathing deeply here. See if you can let your mind just become absorbed in that steady flow of breath. If you need to, counting to 3 or 4 or 5 on your inhale. And make your exhale an even count. And then walking the hands forward. Okay, coming up onto hands and knees. And preparing for our first downward facing dog. Spreading the fingers wide, maybe tilting the hands so they're about 45-degree angle. Opening the feet up wide if you like on either side of your mat. Maybe big toes touching edges of the mat. And then lift the hips up, downward facing dog. And either find stillness here or walk the heels one at a time, finding that nice big stretch through the back of the body. And we'll stay here a few breaths, letting the head and neck relax. Maybe gazing up towards your navel here. Finding length through the back. If you need to, bend the knees to create that nice deep stretch through the back. And then as the hamstrings start to open up, and send the heels further down towards the ground. And breathing in, big breath. Breathing out, draw the navel in. One more deep breath in. Breathe it out. And then walk the feet hip width. Drop down onto your knees. Let's come down onto the belly. So come into plank first, drawing both feet back. Come onto the balls of the feet. Fire up through the lower belly, pressing into the hands, lifting your back body up and away from the floor. Take a big breath in, and then lower down. You can lower down knees, chin and chest, or just lower all the way down to the belly. I'm coming into a couple rounds of cobra here by bringing the hands out wide to either side of the mat. Press the feet down into the mat. Press your hips down into the mat. So really stabilizing through the lower body. Pull the belly in. Look forward. Inhale and look up. And lift up. And pull your lower belly in. Really stabilizing there to feel your lower back here working, strengthening. Couple deep breaths. Draw your elbows down and forward, really opening up and drawing the shoulders down the back. Inhale, lift and shine the heart forward. And exhale, coming all the way down. Take a deep breath here. You can relax left ear on the mat for a moment. Breathing. And then second time, chin forward. Stabilize and press the hips down into the mat. Inhale, look up and lift up and come up just as much until you feel that activation of stretch. Pressing your tailbone down towards the mat. Pressing down through the hips, legs, pulling the lower belly in. Inhale, look up, lift. And exhale, coming all the way back down. And then use your hands underneath you, pressing back up onto hands and knees. Coming up one more time, downward facing dog. Press the heels down, feel that nice big stretch through the back. Deep breath in and out. And then look forward and cross your legs underneath you. And bring your feet out in front of you. Moving into boat pose here. So with the feet on the ground, the feet about hip width distance from each other, hold on to the bottom of the thighs here underneath the knees and lift the feet up off the ground until the shins here parallel to the floor. Now really keep your chest lifted and your shoulders gliding down the back. You can stay right here, squeezing the legs, squeezing the thighs together. Or if you'd like to release the hands forward, release the hands. Just make sure you're not collapsing through the lower back. If you need to, continue to hold the back of the thighs. Pull the belly in, squeeze the lower belly tight. Go ahead and grab a hold of the thighs. Bring the feet back down onto the mat. Stretch the arms forward. Keep the lower belly engaged as you roll all the way down, imagining that you're coming down vertebrae by vertebrae here until you're all the way down onto the mat. And then walk your heels forward. Stretch your arms forward into your fingertips, just grazing the back of your heels, preparing for bridge pose. Press your feet down, firm up through the inner thighs, and inhale, and lift your hips up towards the sky. Continuing to press the hands down or walking your shoulders one at a time underneath you, clasping your hands underneath you and lifting your hips up high to the sky. Imagine you've got a block in between your thighs, squeezing the thighs together as you lift up through the hips. Press the feet down, inhale, lift the hips up and slowly lower. Come all the way down. Bring the shoulders out from underneath you. And then bring the knees into your chest. And grab a hold of the knees. And maybe little circles here with the knees or whatever feels good, rocking around side to side. Take some intuitive movement here. Just rolling and rocking around through your sacrum. And then coming back down, feet on the mat. And stretch your left leg out. And reach and grab for your right knee. 10 fingers interlocked. And start to pull the right knee out and in towards your right shoulder. So you've got a nice grip. Feeling that nice stretch through the right hip. And then continuing to hold the knee with your right hand. Stretch your left arm up overhead. So you feel that nice line of energy from your fingertips all the way through your left foot. Flex your left foot actively and kick through your heel. Same time, stretch through your left fingertips. Feel into the center line of the body as you feel that nice lengthening happening through the whole left side. Take a deep breath in, get taller and longer. And exhale, release. And release your right leg down. Lift your left leg up, interlock all 10 fingers, and bring your left knee outside and then down and in. The left foot can stay relaxed and flex through your straight leg, your right leg. And start to pull that knee into your chest. And then keeping hold of the knee with your left hand, reach and stretch your right arm up towards the sky. Notice any differences between your right and your left sides. Flex through your right foot. Slightly tuck the chin so you feel that nice length through your spine, from your tailbone through the crown of the head. Like the back of the neck here is eventually flat on the mat underneath you. And inhale, get taller, get longer. Deep breath in, and then exhale, and release. And relax your left leg down. And then taking a final twist here. And bring the knees again up into the chest. And let the knees just fall over to the left, bringing your arms either to a T or to cactus arms if you like to reach around with your left hand. And just gently press down through the knees here. Find that just right spot so you're getting an active twist and stretch through the right side of the body. And deep breath in. And out. And then coming back up to center, squaring the hips. And let the knees drop over to the right. Using your right hand as an anchor for your knees. Stretching through the left fingertips. Either at a diagonal or keeping that goalpost arm with your left hand. And breathe. And release and relax. Come back up to center. Take any last pose that you feel you might need before we relax for a moment in Shavasana, preparing for our seated meditation. So extend the legs out in front of you as you're ready. Relax your arms down by your side. And take a moment here to breathe into your whole body. Feeling into the space that you created with your breath, with your attention, and with your intention to synchronize your breathing with your movement. Settle with your exhale. And then again, bring the knees into the chest and rolling over to the right side, resting your cheek on your arm. And then pressing yourself up to seated. And then find your cushion or your chair. And just spread your cushion or your blanket so that you can sit with your hips a little bit higher than your knees, or if you're on a chair, feel your feet underneath you. And take a moment just so you feel stabilized. Bring your hands down on your thighs, just to feel that grounding. And then close your eyes. And bring your full attention now to your breath. And see if you can start lengthening your inhales and your exhales. Making them slow and even. So maybe breathing into a count of 4 or 5 on your inhale breath. And then matching that count on your exhale. Using your breath as a tool for making deep inward contact with yourself. And then dropping your awareness fully into the space of your own heart. And if you have any trouble moving down from the space of the mind, maybe thinking about the breath, you can use tapping on your face, down through your temples and your jaw. Feeling that light tapping all the way down through the throat and the chest. And then right upon your heart. And if you'd like to place hand over hand over the space of the heart, really feeling into and increasing the density of your presence there for a moment. And as you're ready, letting the hands relax down. And staying that you're seated right in the center of your heart. And take a moment inside the space of the heart to attune to the quality of your love inside your heart. And it doesn't need to be a huge feeling, but just connecting into that quality of your love inside your heart. You need to bring to mind a person, someone, or something that evokes that quality of love. And then as you feel that quality of love, letting yourself sink and settle in and absorb yourself in that quality, perhaps feeling it start to expand. And start to pulsate in the space of the heart and maybe beyond into the space of your whole body. And absorbing yourself fully inside the space of your loving presence. And then dropping your awareness again all the way down towards the space of the feet. And take a moment and feel like you're inhabiting the whole space of your feet from heel all the way to your toes. So that even more than being aware of your feet, you feel that you are fully inhabiting the space of the feet, living in the space of the feet. And then feeling into the connection between your feet and the ground or the earth underneath your feet. And it might help to visualize or imagine roots or cords or tendrils flowing out from the center of your feet down into the space of the earth. Imagine those roots growing down a few inches and then deeper and even deeper still, heading down towards the very center of the earth. And then resting there for a moment in your sense of grounded presence. And then moving your awareness slowly again upwards. Pausing for a moment in the center of your heart, reconnecting with your loving presence. And then traveling up through the space of the body, chest, and the throat and all the way up into the space of your head. See if you can find the very center of your head, and that point in the very center. As if you took two small arches from your inner ears and connected them right at the center of your head. And take a moment here as you absorb yourself in the very center of your head to settle into your own wise presence. Connected in the center of your head to both sides, both hemispheres of your brain, left and right. Perhaps feeling into your sense of more cosmic connection. And then taking a moment now to connect with all three centers here, your wise, connected presence, center of your head. Your loving presence at the center of your heart. And your grounded presence, lower third of the body, all the way down through the feet, and connected to the very center of the earth. And feel that you are inside your whole body all at once. And take a moment now to deeply absorb yourself in your full embodied presence. And if you get lost or distracted in any moment, it's coming back to a slow and easy rhythm of your breath. And then absorbing your attention once again in your full embodied presence. And starting to deepen your breath again. Maybe wiggling fingers or toes. Making any small movements that you need to. And then taking one more big stretch with the arms all the way up towards the sky, rooting down through the sits bones, rooting down through your grounded presence, stretching, lifting, maybe reaching with your fingertips higher towards the sky. And then exhaling again, pressing down and away, slow through molasses, feeling that resistance as you bring your hands all the way back down. And then drawing them together and up again to your heart center. And then slightly bowing your chin into your chest. And tucking away anything from this practice into the space of the heart that you'd like to integrate, remember. And sending yourself some gratitude and some love, appreciation for taking this time to practice, to settle in, and to feel your own sense of grounded, loving, and wise embodied presence. And I thank you for spending this time and wishing you a wonderful rest of your day today. From my heart to yours, namaste.